Once the period of mystagogy is over, what do we do to help our neophytes? Hi, my name is Diana McAlintal, and I'm with TeamInitiation.com. The period of mystagogy officially ends with Pentecost, or at least the 50 days after a person has been initiated. And a lot of times we think that is the extent of our care and concern for our newly initiated. But that's not the vision of the church. I relearned this a vision in a very powerful way just this past week when I was watching an episode of Call the Midwife, that PBS TV series that has gotten so much acclaim. I've never actually seen the TV show, and I got to see just a little part of this one episode. I don't even know if it's in the first season or where it is in the storyline. But here in this one particular scene, a new midwife who is still learning how to be a midwife. She's finished her training and now she's being sent to this birth for the first time, and it's a very challenging birth. It was a premature birth, but with love and care, the baby and the mother and the family were all doing well. And as this new midwife was leaving, her mentor, her trainer, this religious sister, was talking with her. And the new midwife asked the sister, "What do we do now?" And the religious sister said, with much wisdom, "Well, first, we're going to visit them 3 times a day for the next 2 weeks and help them. And then we're going to visit them twice each week for several weeks. And then we're going to visit them at least once a week. And then after that, we'll visit them and help them out as they need, however long they need us to help support them." And I thought, this is exactly what we need to be doing with our newborns, our neophytes, our new plants. This is the vision of the church in the period of mystagogy. But even beyond the period of mystagogy, we have to recall that the order of Christian initiation of adults is a ritual text. It's a ritual book. And so within the period of mystagogy itself, the focus is on the ritual roles of the neophytes. So for example, you'll see that in paragraph 248, it says that throughout Easter time at Sunday Masses, neophytes should be allowed their own special places among the faithful, and that they should make an effort, the neophytes should make an effort to participate in the masses, in these masses with their godparents, and the homilies should focus on the neophytes. And so you see there's a focus on what happens liturgically. But even after Pentecost is over, our care and concern for the neophytes should continue. If you go to paragraph 246 in the ritual text, it says that the participation of the neophytes in the sacraments, just as it enlightens their understanding of the sacred scriptures, it should also increase their knowledge of others and enrich the experience of the community, that the relationship between the neophytes and the rest of the faithful becomes easier and more practical. It goes on to say that they should form closer relationships with the faithful and communicate to them a new view of things as well as new enthusiasm. And so it's a two-way street, this real relationship that continues long after the period of mystagogy, long after Pentecost is over. Neophytes should receive thoughtful and friendly help from the community, their godparents and their pastors, and the greatest care should be taken that they, the neophytes, receive a full and joyful inclusion into the community. Basically, what this means is not only do we welcome the neophytes into the community through their initiation, but we make a process, we make space, we make room for them so that they belong, so that they are not just newly initiated, but that they are full members of the community itself in all of the ways that we strive to be community together. So, some things that we might do, not only during the period of mystagogy itself, but long after. I'm not suggesting that we go visit the neophytes 3 times a day for 2 weeks and then once a day after that. No, don't follow Call the Midwife's process there. But let's think of ways that we can continually and continue our care and concern for them. And so definitely see if you can continue to meet with them on your regular schedule that you had done during the catechumenate, at least during the period of mystagogy itself. If you were meeting once a week or after Mass or at some point like that, continue to do that during that period of mystagogy. And you can invite others of the faithful to be part of those gatherings. Now that the neophytes are participating fully in the Sunday Eucharist, you can invite the faithful to also participate in those gatherings with the neophytes. Make sure that the godparents are continuing their care and concern for the neophytes, especially during the period of mystagogy. But give your godparents some ideas of what they can do after the period of mystagogy is over. They can have monthly gatherings, monthly faith formation conversations, just the two of them between godparent and neophyte. Monthly, after the period of mystagogy is over, see what you can do to gather with your neophytes once a month, once a quarter, every other month for ongoing formation. Look through your parish's schedule of what is already happening for adult faith formation and for your child neophytes, your children neophytes, for all of your other children in the parish. What faith formation activities and events are happening already in your parish that you can make sure you invite your neophytes and their godparents to participate in long after mystagogy is over. And then find out when your bishop is going to be coming to your parish. I know our bishop is coming in a few weeks to celebrate confirmation, and so we want to make sure that our neophytes are there so that we can introduce our neophytes to the bishop, especially because the bishop did not get to celebrate the initiation rites with our neophytes themselves. So this is a good way to deepen that bond. And then, just as you probably did at the beginning of your seekers formation and relationship with your parish, where you might have invited your seekers into parishioners' homes to have dinner or coffee or just casual conversation to get to know them, invite neophytes into parishioners' homes again, so that relationship, that bond can deepen even more now that they are celebrating the sacraments, now that they are one with all the faithful in this wonderful faith that we share together. And finally, especially as you are preparing your next group of seekers, your next group of catechumens and elect, and as you celebrate those initiation sacraments, be sure to give a role for your previous year's neophytes, whether it's a role of hospitality, a role of witness, a role of faith formation, a role in the liturgy itself. Give them some way to hand on and be examples for your next incoming neophyte group, so that they become an integral part of that deepening relationship for everyone who is seeking. Hopefully this has given you some ideas on how to do this ministry that we share together, this beautiful ministry of initiation and formation and conversion. My name is Diana McAlintal. Be sure to come over to teaminitiation.com for even more resources to help you in your ministry. Thanks so much for watching.